With me is the Director General of the Artillery, Lieutenant General Adosh Kumar. He was commissioned in the Indian Army in the year 1986, has almost 39 years of glorious career in the Indian Army, and he took charge of the artillery in the year 2023. Now, this is an important arm of the Indian Army, a unit which is the second largest in terms of the manpower, and of course plays an important role in terms of the firepower as well. So welcome to WION. It's great to have you at the WION headquarters. And let me start with the first question, something that has been essentially the big news of this year. Operation Synindhur, the role of the artillery. If you can perhaps talk about it, and also essentially the lessons for the artillery as well.
Okay, hi Siddhant. Thank you for inviting me over. As far as Operation Synindhur is concerned, I think we have witnessed a paradigm shift in India's strategic signaling. We have moved beyond from a reactive response of 2016 strikes and 2018 Balakot strikes to a multi-domain, high precision, offensive targeting, so as to achieve our political military aims, and also while retaining control over the escalatory ladder. And you would have noticed during this ongoing operations, there has been a perceptible shift in our mindset. Zero tolerance is the new normal. We are going in for punitive retaliation, and the aim is to inflict considerable destruction to the enemy's infrastructure so as to deter him from any misadventure in future. We've also, I think, witnessed a whole of nation approach with the multi-domain synergy between the three services as far as planning and execution is concerned. You would have seen that the operation's name was very well chosen. It struck an emotional chord with the masses. Another feature, I think, what has been redeeming about this Operation Synindhur has been the success of our Atmanirbharta drive, especially in the field of defense. Our indigenous weapons successfully neutralize the enemy's fancied imported weapons and equipment. We need to sustain this momentum. We need to invest more in R&D, and also I think have the defense industry must have the ability of surge production in case required. And as far as Regiment of RT is concerned, a number of issues have emerged. The first being that the non-contact kinetic warfare is the new normal. We have seen effective use of rockets, effective use of missiles and loiter munitions. So we need to augment this capability to engage targets at longer ranges with precision. Loiter munitions, we have seen their effective use in destruction of precision targets. You are aware these are low cost, high impact weapon systems which were used for targeting the enemy's infrastructure and his weapon systems. So we need to, as a regiment of artillery, invest more in loiter munitions. And what I mean is, having loiter munitions with more range, with more endurance, ability to fire different warheads, and equally importantly, ability to operate in a dense electronic warfare environment. Also, I think in the Regiment of RT, we already have a modernization plan, and also ability to quickly move from one place to another, especially in the mountainous terrains. Alongside the guns, I think there's a need to have more precision guided or terminally guided munitions. I think another thing which comes to my mind is the need for persistent surveillance at all levels. We need, whether it's at strategic levels or operational level or tactical level, through your satellite imageries, through your air photos, through our radars, or even through our surveillance drones. Now, this is required not only for us for our target acquisition, but also for direction of own artillery fire, as also for post-strike damage assessment. In future, we need our gun areas to have more overhead protection. We need our command and control centers, or our gun areas, they would be also subjected to enemy drones. So we need counter US measures. We need guns, like I said, with greater mobility so that they can quickly shoot and scoot and move to different positions before the enemy detects our own gun areas. So we need to augment our electronic warfare capability to be able to operate effectively, in such environment. What I can also assure you, I think we are fully alive to all these issues, and we are addressing them on a war footing.
We have seen conflicts, whether it's in Europe, whether it is in West Asia. What's your sense when it comes to the futuristic warfare and the role of the artillery, if you can perhaps delve on it?
I think it'll be difficult to predict the exact contours of future warfare, because they'll be dependent on a host of features, especially the geopolitical situation. However, I do believe, I think that the future wars will be complex, hybrid, and multi-domain in character. They'll also be escalatory, and I think the battlefield will be characterized by intensity of operations, by simultaneity of operations going on, and by increased battlefield transparency. Which brings out that the firepower will have to be employed in a very synergized manner. Now, as far as I think engagements are concerned, these engagements would be both non-contact kinetic and non-contact non-kinetic, so as to degrade or destroy the enemy's combat potential. As far as this non-contact warfare is concerned, I think nations around the world have been devising strategy of winning wars without incurring physical casualties in close combat. As far as the application of artillery is concerned, or I think the first thing what comes to my mind is that a capability development needs to be aligned with the technological developments. A one module fits all size will be inadequate to tackle the threats due to the dynamics of terrain, space, or force. So we need our capability development should be futuristic, but also it should be time based. Secondly, I think we need a balance of equipment. The efficacy of long-range vectors has been effectively seen in the non-contact warfare due to their range and lethality, well established. Equally, I think the tube artillery has resulted in a lot of destruction and breaking the enemy's will to fight. So we need a judicious mix of guns, rockets, and missiles, so as to accrue the operational advantages of each of these systems. It is, I think, not a question of guns versus rockets anymore, but of guns and rockets. As far as precision is concerned, precision targeting, whether we are using rockets or missiles or even loiter munitions, or even tube artillery with long range precision guided munitions, this has resulted in us achieving more with less. So brings out the necessity to have more precision guided munitions in our inventory in near future. I will again re-emphasize the importance of unmanned aerial systems. I think they have a very important role to play in any future battlefield. So we need AI enabled unmanned aerial systems which will be able to carry out precision targeting, as also the counter US measures, because the enemy will also be using such measures in future. As far as I think intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance is concerned, what we commonly call the ISR. Now, these ISR functions will assume a great importance due to increased battlefield transparency on the battlefield. And I think the aerial surveillance has taken a quantum leap with the niche technology equipment. And these intelligence and surveillance centers need to be co-opted or work in close coordination with our fire direction centers, so that there is total synergy and we can have seamless sensor to shooter link. As far as the application of firepower is concerned, I think another factor which comes to the mind is force preservation. So we need we need to carry out standoff engagements from longer ranges. We need to carry out dispersed deployment of our weapon systems so that the enemy cannot target them effectively. We would, I think, in our application also be looking at more self-propelled and mounted gun systems, because they have shoot and scoot capability. And I think these are the main things what we are looking at. I've already spoken of the electronic warfare, how we should be able to work through the EW environment of the enemy. So I think we are all geared up for this. We are taking all measures. So all in all, in case I have to sum it up, I would say that the future's wars, will be multi-domain, aided by technology. And as the head of ARM, I can very confidently say that we are transforming and we are modernizing at a rapid pace. And all these lessons what we learned, whether from Synindhur or from recent conflicts, we are taking them into cognizance into our operational philosophy.
So you've at length explained us various elements and nuances as well. But if I go step by step, starting with the capability development when it comes to the artillery, the operational readiness of the army, if you can perhaps talk about it, and also talk about the induction of new weapon systems in the artillery as well. What are you looking at and what's the current status?
Today, in the Regiment of Artillery, we are graduating from neutralization to destruction. We are graduating from quantitative to qualitative firepower, or I would say changing from an arm of influence to an arm of decision. Now, you asked me about capability development plan. So, I think our capability development plan is premised on 6 factors. The first is the modernization of our guns, that is to 155 calibers with technologically superior platforms. We are looking at increasing the inventory of our rockets and missiles because of their long range and precision. We are also looking at having more modern and lethal ammunition in our inventory. I have already spoken of, we are looking at having more the unmanned aerial systems, whether it's the loiters or the surveillance drones. Our capability, we are also looking at reorganizing our surveillance architecture, and equally importantly, we are looking at digitizing and automating at all levels. Now, as far as the guns is concerned, I think 155 caliber is the standard caliber what we are aiming in the next 10 to 12 years. And the advantages are quite evident because of the longer range and lethality these 155 guns afford. And we have already inducted a fair number of these 155 guns. We have we have these Bofors guns with us. We have the ultralight howitzers which are with us. We have the Dhanush guns. We have the Sarangs, which are an upgraded version of our 130 guns with us. And we also have these self-propelled K9 guns. More regiments, as I speak, more regiments of Dhanush are being added in our inventory. You are aware, in December last year, we signed a contract for more number of K9 guns These will be delivered in the next 2 to 3 years to our regiments. In March this year, we also signed a contract for 155 mm advanced towed artillery gun systems. Again, this would be coming in our inventory in the next couple of years. As far as these ATAGs, what we call for short, is concerned, it's a totally greenfield project, 100% indigenously designed and developed by our industry, and it has got a host of features. Presently, in fact, it's not only the the K9s or the self-propelled guns and the ATAG guns what we signed a contract. There are also procurement cases going on for the 155 mm mounted gun systems and the 155 mm towed gun systems. Both of these gun systems are due for trials shortly. So our inventory of 155 mm guns is building up at a fast pace. As far as rockets is concerned, I think more regiments of our Pinakas are being added in the near future. In capability development, we are also looking at more missile systems, both cruise missiles and ballistic missiles. As far as munitions or ammunition is concerned, I think we are engaged very closely with not only the industry, not only with the defense industry, but with academia also, and a number of projects where we can increase the range of our ammunition as well as their lethality. So there's a lot of progress going on that field also. As far as the unmanned aerial system is concerned, our Shaktiban regiments and the Divyas batteries are being raised to further augment our UAS capability. Our surveillance, what I spoke of earlier, so in artillery we have these surveillance and target acquisition regiments and batteries. They are being reorganized. We are equipping them with the latest state-of-the-art surveillance equipment. That's a process which has already started. And I also spoke of digitization and automation. So, all our technical functions in the regiment of artillery have been automated so that we can engage targets with a minimum, time delay. So, all in all, I think we are following the right pace. We're giving a lot of impetus to our capability development. This is being regularly monitored at the highest levels. And I think we are on a firm footing as we move ahead.
So, moving to missiles, the use and deployment of missiles and rockets, what's the future plan about it?
Okay, see, as far as rockets is concerned, we have in our inventory a number of rocket systems. We have these Grad rocket systems, we have the Pinaka rocket systems, and we have these Smirch rocket systems. So as far as the Pinaka rocket systems are concerned, like I just mentioned to you, we're inducting more regiments of the Pinakas. And in fact, the Pinaka rocket system has been a success story of India's Atmanirbharta. The regiment of RT has fully supported this project. A word about this, the ammunition which we can fire with Pinakas. So we can fire a variety of ammunition, and as far we have recently contracted the area denial munitions which we can fire with this Pinaka, one variant, and some more variants are under trials which will be inducted shortly. Now these area denial munitions will have the capability to completely saturate area target with bomblets. They will also have the capability to fire anti-tank or anti-personnel bomblets. Interestingly, we are also now looking at guided extended range of which can be fired from Pinaka rockets. The trials of this is already over, and we are hopeful of signing this contract in this financial year itself. What this will lead to, this will double the range of my existing Pinaka rockets, and equally importantly, it will give me a lot of precision with this guided, as the name guided implies. So we are also initiating a case shortly for the capability to fire rockets with 120 and 300 kilometer range, which can be fired from the Pinaka rockets. So what we're going to have in near future is a rocket system which can fire a variety of rockets in terms of range, a variety of rockets in terms of warheads. And it will be something akin to what we've seen the HIMARS, what the US uses, or a pulse system which the Israeli use. As far as you asked me about missiles, so you know we have in our inventory the BrahMos missile systems. In the last couple of years, we have been able to increase the range of these BrahMos missile systems substantially. So a lot of work going on in BrahMos also, as far as and in the rocket system also.
So, moving forward, it looks like the drone warfare is not only here to stay, but it is going to be the essential part of any future wars and the current wars we are witnessing, whether it's in Europe or other parts of the world. So, essentially, how is the artillery dealing with this new warfare?
See, the advent of unmanned aerial systems has revolutionized the modern warfare because they, offer a wide array of applications. In the recent conflicts, we have seen their innovative and imaginative use in operation, in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, in Operation Spiderweb. We saw the Ukrainians, use their kamikaze drones against the Russian strategic bombers and causing some damage. In this Israel-Iran conflict also, in Operation Rising Lion, we saw these kamikaze drones being used by Israelis against the Iran's air defense, and which was quite effective. So I think, it will not be incorrect to say that the land warfare is somewhat, transitioned into a drone warfare. And, what they say, if it can be seen, it can be hit. So whether it's a soldier, who's carrying a launcher, or whether it's a gun system, or whether it's a tank, or whether it's a command and control center, if you can see it, you can hit it with precision. I think that also brings me to an important part is what we call the air littoral. Now, air littoral extends from the ground up to the medium altitudes, and it is this zone in which our unmanned aerial systems operate, whether it's the loiter munitions or the surveillance systems, which are very crucial for shaping our land operations. And we're giving a lot of importance in this zone because the Indian Army, for Indian Army, it's very critical because it enables, freedom of action as well as protection of my ground forces. So hence, we are investing a lot into these, unmanned aerial system, whether it's the loiter or the surveillance systems is concerned. And now coming especially to the Regiment of Artillery, I think we are taking a lot of measures. I've spoken of some of them earlier. And the first is, we are carrying out the organizational restructuring of some of our units. Our chief had recently announced a couple of months back the creation of Shaktiban regiments and the Divyas batteries. Now, both these Shaktiban regiments and the Divyas batteries will be equipped with loiter munitions of varying, ranges. They'll also, and it is not only these Shaktiban and the Divyas what we are creating, we are scaling loiter munitions right down to the basic subunit of artillery, that is a battery. So each subunit of the complete regiment of artillery in future course will be equipped with these loiter munitions. So that is the importance we are giving to loiter munitions. So it will be a game changer, of course, and I think with this we'll be able to engage precision targets at all levels, at strategic, operational, and tactical levels. Also, I think to complement this, the aerial observation systems are also being authorized to this, to these units, so that we can quickly acquire the targets and engage them. In the recent conflicts, the time between detecting a target and engaging it has gone down from 8 to 10 minutes to a mere 1 to 2 minutes, because that's the time a target may change its posture. So we need to detect it and engage it as quickly as possible, or what we call the hunter-killer concept. So I spoke of this, our validation or creation of these restructuring of these Shaktiban and Divyas batteries has already started last month. I also spoke of restructuring of our surveillance and target acquisition regiments, or what we call the SATA regiments. These are also being equipped with loiter munitions, with runway independent RPAs, and with swan drones. These will be employed at operational level. So so one thing is our all the regiments of artillery being equipped with this. We are equipping our our SATA also with this, and what is more important is because we will require these systems in large numbers. So we have already started a number of emergency procurement cases. We have already started a fast track procurement cases so as to expedite the induction of these systems into the Indian Army and connect it with what I just spoke of, the air littoral. I think we have also sensitized the private and the public sectors of our current and the future requirements, so that they are aware of it and they are setting up an effective ecosystem. And I'm quite sure that in the near future we'll attain total self-reliance as far as these unmanned aerial system is concerned. Now, when we are speaking of drone, another important thing is, one thing is procuring it, and the other thing is operating this system. So it's very important that our training is also aligned to this. So our training curriculum is being modified both at our schools of instructions and at our formation levels. We are buying a lot of simulators so that we can train our personnel to operate these systems with confidence. So I think the aim at the unit level is that we should be all my people should be able to operate these drones or to create a drone culture. So I think we're giving a lot of emphasis on this, and again this is being regularly monitored, and I can assure you that I think there will be no slippages. So I think we have it in
the entire
yeah, so we have it in order. I think we'll be able to move ahead with our timelines.
So the warfare has been completely changed in last 5 years, I would say. It has been changing, but last 5 years has given that impetus we all have observed. But in terms of the training, how have you aligned the methodology, the entire process when it comes to your division, the artillery division?
So as far as the regiment of RT is concerned, like I just mentioned, procuring equipment is one thing, but the ability to operate it effectively is another thing. So I think we need to train our people to operate these systems very confidently and effectively. So I think our training pedagogy has undergone a change with the advent of this niche technology equipment, both at our training centers, our formation level, and our school of instructions. As far as our school of artillery is concerned, which is located in Devlali close to Nasik, we've established a drone experience center. It's a unique thing. It has some generic simulators, it has specialized simulators, it has a drone battle arena, it has an incubation lab, it has a tinkering lab. So you say it, we have it. All kinds of simulators have been positioned there so that the training is carried out uninterrupted. And all courses, whether it's the officers, the JSOs or the men, are undergoing these capsules in the School of Artillery whenever they come there. And this is not restricted only to training on simulators. Once they've gathered requisite proficiency, then we expose them to live firing with these weapon systems. Also, in School of Artillery, we have put these virtual reality observation post simulators. So as our observation post officers can get a more realistic training in a realistic environment through these VROP, what we call simulator. As far as our centers is concerned, our artillery centers is where we train these Agniveers. So again, a lot of upgrades in terms of training infrastructure is concerned. It is not merely in terms of having more modern classroom with audio visual aids, but in terms of simulators. In terms of simulators, what I mean is it is a firing simulator, it's a weapon training simulator, it's a simulator for practicing your radio telephony for these operators. We have got various types of driving simulators because, as you are aware, there are different types of vehicles. So different types of, so all in all, I think we are giving them a very integrated and encompassing environment wherein they can hone their skills on this simulators before we put them into live practices is concerned. In fact, as we are speaking of drones, so in this centers we have set up a drone hobby center also. The aim is to identify those recruits who have the potential. So we identify them, who have the potential for this, and and that info is passed on to the units once they go to units, so that they can get more specialized training, or what we call catch them young or identify them young is concerned. Even the training has been modified to a large extent in the formation and the unit levels also. There also, it is not only in the School of Artillery where we have these drone training centers. We have these drone training labs or the incubation centers being established in various stations where artillery units are there. It is basically, like I said, create a drone culture. Everyone should be confident, everyone should be able to operate, because like what I said in the beginning, the land warfare is fast metamorphosing towards a drone warfare. So we want everyone to be proficient with these things, and again at the unit formation level, the unit CEOs, the formation commanders, they are maintaining data sheets or records of who's being trained in what, how much proficiency is this, and this is all coming to us at the Artillery Directorate. We're maintaining a complete database of the training proficiency of all ranks.
So my last question to you is, as the head of the arm, the Director General of the Artillery Division, which is the second largest division in the Indian Army, this is something that is significant in many ways. But we would like to know your vision, your focus when it comes to various aspects.
Artillery today represents the true essence of military power by dominating the battlefield. I think modern weaponry has given us the increased range and destructive prowess, which has further enhanced our versatility. As far as vision is concerned, I think our vision stems from our Chief of Army Staff's vision or for decade of transformation, that is to transform the Indian Army into a agile and integrated modern force. So our vision of the Regiment of RT is to transform the arm into a comprehensive and integrated force which can provide all firepower solutions using niche technologies and cutting edge solutions. Our modernization is progressing at an appropriate pace. It is giving us time to adapt to these changes. It is giving us time to imbibe technology at all levels and put into place optimum employment philosophies. It is based on the principle of modernization through indigenization. And I think most importantly, it is all encompassing. It is not only restricted to guns, but also to rockets, to missiles, to ammunition, and to a host of other equipment what is there in artillery. Equally, like I had mentioned before, both the public and private sector companies have been fully integrated. We are having regular interactions with them. We had one just as recently as last week. So they are aware of our current and modern requirements and future requirements, and they are fully integrated with it. So all in all, we are looking at the Regiment of Artillery in the future, which will be a force to reckon with in the battlefield, which will be an arm of decision, and which will have a decisive say in the outcome of any battle.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION, giving us your extensive view about whether it is the modernization, drone warfare, and of course, Operation Sindhur, where of course we know that India not only emerged victorious, but was able to send message to those who sponsor, aid, and abet terrorism. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Indar. Thank you for having me here. Pleasure.